didn't buy the Bitcoin to sell it. But would MicroStrategy ever take some off the table when you sense the market is at a top and then just buy in later when there's another correction? Or do you just plan to hodl through all the 80% downturns?
Yeah, again, I just disagree with your characterization. I don't expect an 8% downturn. I don't think it's a speculative asset. I don't think you can quote unquote take money off the table. The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever more. Yeah. Forever more. Forever more.
Yeah.
You know, you're speaking like a crypto trader right now, right? You know, in Zimbabwe, you think they would take money off the table, right? Like maybe you're doing it just to represent their interest, but I don't see the world that way. I think that Bitcoin is sound money. It's the technically superior asset class compared to the dollar, the euro, the peso, the Bolivar, compared to a stock index, compared to gold, compared to silver, compared to everything you can conceivably buy. It is technically thermodynamically superior as an asset. If you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever, Laura.
Joining us now to talk markets and more is Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat, chief investment officer of Fundstrat Capital. He's also the chairman of BitMine as well as a CNBC contributor. We've got some new stuff to factor into your either bearish or bullish case. It's still somewhat bullish, but okay, the economy looks like it may actually be slowing a little bit. Last week, the markets definitely retrenched. You know, you've been last week was a setback, and August is not always a great month. You think we get a little bit of choppiness here? Are you still bullish?
Well, last week was definitely consolidation because we had 5 days where the market opened higher and closed lower.
Really?
And they call that bearish engulfing. It makes sense because we're consolidating that 28% gain from the April lows. And on the job stuff, I think it's just the data's catching up to what we already know. The labor market's been soft, right? So it's, I think, a positive setup because now the Fed has more ammunition to make a dovish pivot in the fall. And it's not too late because we know the thing that they're going to stimulate is the housing market. And you had a couple guests earlier talking about that. And so that is what strengthens the economy in 2026. So I think it's quite a positive setup. We're just consolidating and then we make a bigger move higher.
Is it fair to say that since it's a dual mandate, that maybe the Fed should have been able to think that there was more risk to a slowdown than to inflation? Do you think they missed that a little bit and they're fighting? I don't know, but Trump said you got to cut, so they couldn't. maybe they had to err that way just for political reasons.
Yeah, I think the Fed needs to demonstrate independence, but you're right. I think when they look at their dual mandate, they're probably drifting further from the employment metric now, because the unemployment rate, if you use the existing
What's up, man? Yes. What is going on? Hey, my name's Gerald Peters. Welcome back to the channel. It's the Peters Report. Go live on Mondays and Fridays to cover the stock market. I won't keep you long today. What's up, Blake? What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing good, Gavin. Let's run through the wind here. Let's see. Stock charts is forcing me to move over. What's up, guys? What's up, Steven? Hope everyone's doing well. All right, we got Bitcoin, what had really fallen off from about where it hit an all-time high of 122,000. And then we just kind of sold off, kind of went sideways in this, what we call stage 3 in the money flow. Sold off, and then now we're right back above the 5-period exponential moving average here, which is this red dotted line that you see. And, you know, as a trader, you know, it is interesting that this previous resistance here, what was previous resistance, where you see my, if we were to project that out, pretty much had Bitcoin come down to that, bounce off it. Looks like some people got ahead of it. What's up, Steven? Looks like some people got ahead of it, and it's already started to bounce and run. Could be, you know, hey, maybe the stage 4 plays out, but you know, the one thing I'm looking at here is the histogram. Let me take this back down so we can do some work on it here. You know, I'm always looking for the curl on that TSI. Well, we're already getting the curl. And the curl's what, you know, but, you know, we saw it here and then it still went down. So obviously you can, you know, it's not going to necessarily always be a perfect indicator, but the MACD is indicating that the downward momentum has stopped, and now it's looking to turn back up. And so we'll see. If I'm a trader, I get long. If I'm trying to swing trade Bitcoin, I would get long here. Probably would have wanted to catch it on a 30-minute chart. You know, we've had it got down there as low as 112,000. That's where we had our bounce. If you look at what we had, that's on a 30-minute chart, but let's get back to a daily. When we got caught in this trading range here, remember I was talked about, it went from about 111,000 down to say 100. So it's about this $10,000, $12,000 range. It's kind of what we have here. 122,000 down to 12. That's a 10,000 range. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see us get kind of range locked in this right around in here, just like we had over here, you know? And so, you know, if you're trading a 30-minute chart, maybe, you know, maybe you can do something with that. I traded on, let's get back to the wind. I trade it using Coinbase. The futures market over there at Coinbase is super simple. It's probably one of the easiest ways I've ever seen to trade futures. All right, let's get past the Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin looks good here. I'm looking at indexes. The NASDAQ, I'm pretty bullish still because everyone I know is bearish. And what the fuck? How did this? Get back here. Man, hopefully everybody saw that, what I was talking about there on Bitcoin. I just realized I clicked the wrong button there. NASDAQ is at 21,022. We're back above the 20-day moving average. We're back above the 5 exponential. You know, I don't know. That's pretty bullish. If I was concerned or if I wanted to put on some hedges, this is when I would do it, man. So if you're thinking about hedges, this is the chance. This is your time right here. Let's see. We got the QR code. Let me make sure I got the right one up here. Kind of went live spur of the moment. I'm back in Texas checking on some stuff. No, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Those are both the wrong one, huh? Wow. All right. Hit the QR code, man. It'll get you over to the Peters report. You can get signed up on the emails. Don't let that confuse you. The report still comes out the same. You know, we're still putting out the report. What's up, Gramps? Man, that's not cool. What's up, baby boy, little man? I guess if we're going to talk weird to each other. That's the PDF version of the Peters report. If you want to get on the interactive. What's up, Robert? If you want to get more involved in the interactive, get on the Substack list. I mean, this is bullish, man. I don't know. I mean, price is back above, you know, and I'm pretty bullish just because so many other people are bearish. It's usually is not a good sign. Copper coming down like this, man, that's not a good sign. Copper's not one of the big 7, what we call the win, which is the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the S&P, oil. We use the USO. That's the continuous oil contract. Bonds, we use TLT, and we got Bitcoin. But I do like to keep track of the IWM. That's the small caps, the VIX, and copper as leading indexes. This is usually connected to a stock called Freeport McMoran, FCX. That's one that I've owned a long time. Gold is breaking out, man. Is this updated? Huh. Anybody else not having a gold chart update? Oh, duh. We got to look at the GLD. My bad. So if we're looking at the GLD, boom, we're up again. Another 0.5% today. Gold pushed up there and high in that 31,000 range. You know, maybe we make a run for it again. I don't know. Been in gold forever. Haven't talked about it much because I haven't really added. It actually went, you know, much further than I anticipated it. Man, we're going to do this shit, aren't we? Wow. It's not letting me draw shit. What in the fuck? Sorry if I seem a little discombobulated here. This is actually, what am I saying? 31. It's a 3,450 range. Man, gold has really, really, really moved, huh? I think a lot of people missed the gold move. I didn't have near enough in it. I've been playing catch up, trying to play silver. So gold's back in play. Dow Jones Industrial, this is a decent sized pop here. 508 points or 1.7%. God damn, let me show the right screen. Jeez. Interesting, huh? So The Dow is on the move. The Dow is of the weakest of all of the indexes. What's up, Kendall? Hope you're doing well. Sebastian, what's up, man? Says no disrespect to NJ. We call all the old heads Gramps and Unks. Old heads, huh? Man, he's just throwing logs on the fire, baby. Now I'm an old head. What's up, man? I'm just fucking with you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Dow looks, it's pushing back, man. I don't know. The Dow still looks, that's a pretty ugly little rollover. And as we know, you know, when it comes to the money flow, just the PDF, you know, we posted the update. We do these updates every Sunday night. I don't remember how long I was up last night, but we talked about the markets were volatile last week. Bonds entered into a stage 2 breakout and blew through its 200-day moving average and is now the leading asset class of the wind. Gold also entered into a stage 2 breakout. So, you know, we see these two. We see gold going into a breakout. And if we see bonds, come on, man. You know, TLT is now at 88.4. Target's around 92. Man, is this bond trade about to start working? It's been a long time. It's been a long ride. Yeah. We're above the 200, man. I think we make a run, you know. So if this market pulls back, bonds could make a run. I don't see them going down. We got bonds breaking out and we got gold breaking out. But a lot of the stocks that should be moving, if we were going into recession, I find it hard to believe that McCormick's and, you know, Pepsi and a lot of these historical, you know, these stocks have always been go-to stocks during times of recession. Pepsi and Coca-Cola, those stocks have been destroyed. They're the worst in the market right now. We do have utility stocks flying, but they're flying for a different reason, you know. And this has been the one that we'll get to that, I guess. Utilities have been the one that has just blown my mind. We've got oil here. Had a big sell-off. It continues to sell off this morning. I haven't closed my futures contracts. I was going to try to give them a little room, man, and see if, because we've been bouncing. If you look in this area here, you know, it's kind of a big area. This is a huge fucking zone here, but I was kind of hoping it was shrinking a little, you know, if you see right in there, and that hopefully now this is the bottom and then we can, you know, we can kind of run up, but I don't know. Starting to lose a little confidence in that oil works out here. So most of your oil stocks are going to, you know, obviously follow suit. This is why it's important to follow the wind. You know, that's why it's important. And that's what we talk about on the front page of the Pierce Report. We're trying to break down the 7 major assets. So if you go to the back on page 35, you'll see my whiteboard. And on there, we break them down in order of strength, 1 through 7. And how you use that can be individual, you know, individualistic. I almost said that's not even a word. Is, you know, really based on your time frame. You know, if you're a short-term trader, then you're wanting to trade that shit that's up there on the number 1. That's the momentum. That's what's running, you know. If you're a buy and holder, and you might be doing these simultaneously, right? If you're a buy and holder, well, obviously you want to be looking at, you know, the bottom of the wind, number 6, number 7. That's going to be where your value plays are, most likely. And especially over time, remember, like bonds stayed it's funny, bonds are number 1 now, and bonds were the last forever. Gold was number 1 forever, it seemed like. S&P and the NASDAQ are in a possible stage 4 declines, whereas the Dow Jones is a confirmed stage 4 decline. Now, that may change today. Maybe it changes that fast. Bitcoin is forming a potential stage 1 accumulation zone. That was as of Sunday night. We can talk about the Russell and this and that. It's always a little embarrassing to put it out, and then by Monday morning, it's totally opposite of what you wrote in there. It's always a little weird, you know? Let's see. One. Let's keep listening. I like Tom Lee, man.
Participation rate before this report, it's almost 5% now. So the Fed now has to be considering the risk of jobs market actually going into a cycle of weakening.
Right, but you have also been, I guess, dovish is the word, on inflation. You have not thought that there is going to be necessarily a big impact from the tariff regime.
That's right. And I think the biggest takeaway is, first of all, if you look at the latest inflation report, the goods component that are tariff driven, it's been only mild. But also if you use the same inflation measure Europe uses, which is inflation X housing, we're actually under 2%. The Fed, if they were the ECB, would be cutting right now.
That's interesting. So by the end of the year, or what target are you using now, and what time frame?
I think we're gonna rally pretty strongly in August. So I think we can get back to 65 or get to 65, 6,600 all-time highs in the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
And then 7,000 in the next 12 months, above that?
Yeah, probably well above that.
Well above that.
Yeah.
Bitmine, we mentioned that at the top, is going to be, in your view, the micro strategy or strategy of
Wow. So Tom has a big, bold call there, man. That's a big, bold call. He's talking about all-time highs by the, we see the VIX coming down big time here. What's up, Sony? Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. Doing okay. Just getting old. Not aging. Oh, like let's see. Not accepting of aging, I guess I should say. We've been trading the silver using the AGQ. I was hoping to catch up with the gold trade because I really didn't put enough in. We picked up gold, or at least the MFG. If you're with down it, I like to buy commodities when they go below the 200-day moving average. Okay, that's when I look to buy them because commodities aren't stocks, so it's hard for me sometimes to value them. What's the value of gold? What's the value of Bitcoin? What's the value? There's no sales. There's no parking lot. There's no building. It's hard to value it. It's just, what do people want to pay? And while silver is more of an industrial play than gold, I don't know. We had a nice move in it. I made some money in the futures market. Futures is one way to play catch up. So what have we not covered? S&P's back above the 20. Bonds are breaking out. So our laggards really are oil and the Dow and Bitcoin. But Bitcoin looks like it's trying to do some kind of comeback here. Couple stocks I was going to show you. On our spec plays, we got Joby today up 20% today. It's like, wow. That's one of, that was one of our tech play, our spec plays. And no, I did not. Hold on just a second. God damn it. All right. Anybody who's ever been proficient. Yeah, it's a taxi helicopter. Pretty fascinating. The fact that it's gone up so high shocks me. I'm going to be honest. Let's put that back up. One of the MFG members brought me this play a long time. Been a while, man, because we've been in it for a while. But this last move down to $5 and to go from $5 to 20 has just been absolutely fucking amazing. I wish I had more on these spec plays. You know, I don't tend to buy a ton, you know, and some of these, honestly, you know, because about half of them don't work is the problem. Anytime you get into these penny type stocks, these small caps like that. Oh, somehow I got that. Man, I just got it. Let's see. Let me show you. So July, man, I never uploaded the new board. Wow. I'm all over the place. Obviously, I need some help here, man. Anybody wants to be involved in the show, let me know. If you've ever, especially if you ever use StreamYard, that's what I like to stream with. StreamYard is pretty good software. You can have up to 4 cameras, bunch of people, pretty good stuff. My man says he bought a lot. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad for it. And we got a few others in there. Mobley, you know, Mobley was one. MBLY was also on the spec plays list. That's come down. I expect this to run to $20. We're watching it. That was on the list. Obviously hasn't done that well, as was Bohr. Obviously hasn't done that well. I continue to own these because I expect them to go up. Let me send this real. Let's finish and listen to Tom. Let me pull up my whiteboard here.
Of Ethereum or Ether.
Yes, that's right. Just a month ago, I was on the show to announce I was becoming chairman. And at the time, the stock was $4.50, and we announced a $250 million investment led by Founders Fund and Mosaics and others. But today, we announced that we reached almost $3 billion worth of ETH. And
The largest ETH holder then.
Yeah, the largest ETH treasury in the world and the third largest crypto treasury in the world. And we announced that Bill Miller III made a major investment last week into BitMine. So he joins Kathy Woods in investing in our company in the past couple weeks.
That's the Bill Miller from Legg Mason we all know.
Yes,
right?
that's right. The Bill Miller they all know.
Yep.
Yes.
He was super early.
Yeah.
On crypto too.
No, that's what I was saying. Super. He was like, right. What was he getting Bitcoin at? 2012, 13?
Yeah, he has some of the lowest cost Bitcoin out there.
BitMine.
It's ticker BMNR. And the stock now is around 32. So in the past $4.50, yeah.
Wow. Now I'm not in that what he was just talking about there. Pull this up. Yeah, it showed it. Man. Come on, dude. Trying to see what all we got on here. Joby, Tree, Donut, Haynes Brands. I basically dropped Haynes Brands down to speculation. This fucker will not get going. ENVX, Fubo. There's a few more. It should be on there. Now, on my homework board, guys, I'm not putting every position we have. It's just the ones I think could be in play this week, or, you know, there's something about them. Sebastian says, where is Jess GP? Jess is at home, I'm sure, working. Hot damn, It's the #1 stock picker on the internet. Man, I appreciate you. Somebody asked, can we look at Chipotle's? We'll look at that one, man. Let's look at Chipotle's. Woo! Now, check this out. We got a doji here. If you ever look on my homework board, you'll see I write down dojis now. That's been, I don't know what, last year or so. You know, I've become obsessed with dojis. And we had a doji, on Amgen. We had a doji on Lyft, ASML, LMT, BX, Google, Hasbro, Pepsi, and Novus, NVO. These here, man, these are reversal signs. So when you get a doji like we have here, and the TSI is turning, the MACD's already turned, and you were in an extreme zone, that is what you call, my friends, a bottom. And that's all the signs I look for. So if I was wanting to play Chipotle's, I would probably take a position here. Now, obviously, not 100%. Could founder around, but I would start my position right here. Let's look at the other one that was on here. LMT. Lockheed Martin, baby. Let's blow some shit up. That had... Now, this one's even more... You stopped here before. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. And we got a doji and the MACD histogram, TSI. Everything is lined up. So everything that I look at tells me this motherfucker is going up. Currently trading at 422, pays a dividend and below the 200-day. If I'm a trader, I'm looking to run it up to this 480 range, which again overlays previous high and the 200-day moving average. I mean, come on, man. So we got LMT. What were we just looking at? CMG. I mean, these are lining up as easy buys right here. Let's see. The other weird thing we had this week, there were so many, I don't know if you noticed that, how many 20% moves. It was crazy. All right, come on. MSTX, obviously got Bitcoin on the move, so that thing's on the move. We picked some of this up last week, added to it, but then it had a huge down day. I think it was like 20% the other day. And if you haven't noticed, things go down much faster than they go up, man. Unfortunately, we got Donut is up 7.4%. We got Kiss. We got Google. That's the 2x Google. Let me see something. Man. If you come over to the Substack and you were to check notes, we got Joby in there. I wish you guys click like more often. Lets us know you read it. I've got an article over here in notes, not an article, just a short breakdown of the top 10 meme stocks right now that meet the criteria. And it's a list of them. And, you might throw these into a folder and catch them on the breakout. These are stocks that could easily move, 20, 30% in a day. Appreciate you, man. Said he just liked it. Yeah, it always breaks my heart, man. I'll send it out to 500 people and then you get 7 likes. Spend fucking 3 hours on it and get 7 likes. It takes like 8 seconds. It takes literally 2 seconds, I think, to move your thumb if you're on a phone. So, yeah, I don't know how to get people to do that. Let's see. LMT, Chipotle. Chipotle's is a buy here, personally, in my opinion. So is LMT. What else we got here? Oh, Procter and Gamble. This one has just been beat to shit, dude. Let's see. What's crazy, as bad as it's been beat up, I'm still up like 50% to show you how low this fucker can go. Yeah, I wouldn't get in Procter and Gamble yet. Everything is still pointing down. Histogram's pointing down. Everything's pointing down still. So we got to wait on that one, man. What else we got here? Maybe Oxy Petroleum, I'm sure is down today. Yeah. Oxy's holding this support zone. Obviously, if oil breaks, that breaks. Still below the 200, making it a B&B trade. I like it here. I continue to add shares. I think I told someone yesterday I was at 200 shares. I'm actually not. I'm at 140 something. I don't know where I thought I had 200 shares. What's up, Instagram? All right, let's see. What else we got going? Reddit. Bam! God damn, look at Reddit, dude. Man, we've been playing that one. That was one of our suggestions here recently for trade was Reddit. Bam, that thing jumped quick too, man. You know, here's an example where the doji obviously didn't do much, but that doji's not on an extreme. So I don't really pay attention to dojis that aren't an extreme. See what happened to Novus. Let's see, where's Novus? You know, we still got the same shitty pharma. These are going to turn. You know, they're going to turn and people are going to be like, man, I wish I'd have bought more of those. When does that happen? I don't know, man. So we picked up some Novus. I don't know. I might nibble a little more down here. I called an audible on this because we're just starting to see the turn. Remember I said I'd like to see, so we've got, I mean, everything is set up here except price is not over that 5. Obviously, the RSI went extreme. We got a doji. Starting to see the turn on TSI. I wouldn't call that the curl yet, but, you know, we want to see this curl like here and over here. That's the curl to the downside. You know, you see that curl to the downside. And then the histogram is ticking up. And then the money flow indicator is at an extreme, and that's almost always a reversal sign. You know, I don't know. I don't know how high it goes. Maybe, you know, you pick it up as a swing trade. Yeah, UNH. I just did it again. I hit the goddamn button again. Wow. That's probably my sign to cut it short. Boom. UNH. This is a Dow Jones stock. Man, this thing is just hated, man. Says, yes, been missing you, GP. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Been missing going live, too. I'm going to do some change-ups on the show. Anybody interested in coming on and talking money flow stuff, let me know. I know some of you reached out about doing some writing, and I will be getting back to you. As soon as I put that out there, I had a bunch of, you know, I listed $1.9 million in houses for sale. So I've been messing around with that. I got to go do some work on some today. So I'm back in Texas working on some houses. Like I said, I put up 13 or 14 houses for sale. EQIX, Scott says. I'm going to write that down, bro. Hey, Scott, text me that. I'm going to forget it, man. I don't have a pen right here. Jesus. I left my book in the other room. If you don't mind, sir, if you could text me that. Jove says, UNHG is a 2x to UNH. So UNHG. I don't know that I've seen this one. UNHG. Anybody else seen this one? Okay, it's relatively new. That's a 2x, huh? All right, I'm going to save that in my 2x folder. I don't think I've seen that one. Man, that's about it today. Probably come back on later this evening. We'll see how the market plays out, and we'll see what's up. I was going to mention these utilities. You know, these utilities, guys, XLU, look at this thing. And I let it get away from me, and I didn't get a chance. I didn't get back into the UTSL, and that's just got me pissed. I think because we kept getting all this choppiness in here. But if you look at some like SO, so I mean, the idea that this thing is going to $100 blows my mind. Blows my mind. Chris says Moderna on a weekly. Look at Duke. So I'm in a bunch of these utility plays, and they've just been amazing. They've actually saved me for some other dumb shit. mRNA. I mean, this thing, it looks terrible, right? Moderna. Let's look on a monthly, my man says. Yeah, I see what you're looking at there. And we've got dojis galore. I don't normally go that far out, man, but it is interesting, right? Let's pull it up on a weekly. I mean, you're getting that rounded effect. I mean, here, Moderna on a weekly chart, and right there at the bottom is that doji, man. Man, I don't know. We've just, healthcare, you know, these pharmacists got to get going for these things to do anything. Moving all the real estate? No, not necessarily doing that. Moving out of Texas, more like it, man. And I don't want to manage properties in a state I'm not in. We manage our own, so I don't either. It just caught my attention looking for previous highs. Yeah, it is fascinating. And sometimes when you go back and look at historic moves, like go look at NVIDIA and shit like that, and you go to the monthly, it was like, God damn, it was pretty obvious on the monthly. But it's like, who the fuck is looking at a monthly? But like he said, there's when I'm first doing research on a stock, I look at everything, monthly, conference. You know, I might even listen to a conference call to hear the CEO, you know, things like that. Just things I don't normally do on the regular. I will in the initial checkout of them. Trying to think if there was anything new. All these packaged goods stocks, man. You know, it's like, I don't even know what to, they've just been beaten, brutalized, just raped. Oh, you can't say that word. Hopefully they don't knock me. Can't say that word on YouTube, the R word. That's Campbell's, you know, KHC. It did run up to the 200. That's cool. Hit it here and then hit it here. What do we got? Pepsi. General Mills. So Pepsi at the 200 too. This down here, when you get this down here in such a high quality stock like Pepsi, and you get this long sideways like this, I mean, it's a no-brainer bread and butter play, man. Say grape instead. Read them up. Siggy, what the fuck are you talking about? Grape. Appreciate it, MK. MK says hit the like button. I do appreciate that. We'll see. I'm trying to think of some of the newer trades we put on. Was GameStop was one. Are we back in the box? Sort of. Not really. Kind of. I mean, we've got support here. I didn't get stopped out of it because of this support zone. We got some here, and then we got it here. I don't know, man. We'll just see how this plays out. Yeah, I don't know. We got Haynes Brands. We got a whole list of shitty stocks. I thought about going over the shitty stocks. Now, Haynes Brands is bumping. Again, here's another example of this. When you see this, look where it stopped, exactly where it stopped before. I have a lot of friends that trade just off of that. If you can get that and a doji, that's enough to make a run on. And then they start kind of lining up. Then you can just start adding to the trade, So in a situation like that, I'm just going to take a very small position. Oh, grapes. Got you, bro. Got you. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't following you. Followed you for years on Instagram. Always talked about Bitcoin. Still have the same sentiment. Yeah, I like Bitcoin even more. Bitcoin's going to 1 million. And then what's up, Richard? Portfolio's been killing it. Money flow for life. Man, I like that. I'm going to take a picture of that. Need some motivation today. Appreciate you, Richard. Man. UAN up 30% for me and paying nice dividends. Yeah, that's one that we've been in for a long time. Let's see. This is a fertilizer stock. Oh, you see it, Sugar Lumps, though? You see what we're on here now? We got this fucking doji. 75 RSI on a perfect doji right now at $96. I'm not sure what this is a floating dividend, by the way. These can confuse people. This is not a steady dividend. This thing will float, man. Like Zim. Zim pays out a percentage of their profits as a dividend. If profits are high, the dividend's high. If profits are zero, the dividend is zero. And I like that, to be honest. Sometimes the dividend's fucking 40-something%, if it was compounded yearly, which means you're getting a 10% dividend that quarter. I don't mind a 10%, and then next quarter I don't get one, and then the next quarter I get a 30%, and then the next quarter. It's cool. I like it. UNH, I wouldn't fuck with it yet, man. We need healthcare to turn around, and that's probably one of the most hated healthcare stocks right now. So as much as I like Merck and a lot of these, man, they're just not working. It says AMD to 300. It might, man. It might. Trying to look at what's down. PSEC, XOM, Amgen, KHC, and CVS. This CVS pharmacy, man, that was setting up for looked like it was setting up for a nice move. This is CNBC Pro. I posted this on my channel in Discord. Upcoming today, we've got KLG, BX, ECC, and Fubu earnings coming out. Amgen. Fubo is up 5%. I don't know if that's because it already put out earnings. Tomorrow we got Amgen, Pfizer, MPLX, Ogen, and then Duke. And we got EQ. We got Lyft. Fucking Uber comes out on the 6th. So I've got to consider if I'm going to hedge that or not. I might hedge it. Yeah, we're in TSLL. We're in all the 2Xs, man. If we're swing trading, I try to use the 2X. Buy and hold, I try to use the regular. I will add some 2X sometimes in my buy and hold if say Amazon dropped really big and I don't necessarily want to buy more Amazon, I might pick up a little of the double in my buy and hold just to catch a little equity bump, man. But we do swing trade the shit out of them. I almost prefer them over the regulars just because they move and the prices are so much cheaper, you know, for a lot of people. So you could look at Google at $195, or you could do GGLL. It's going to move twice Google and it's $41, you know. Or if we look at TSLL, what is it trading at? $10. Or if we look at Tesla, you know, what's it trading at? $310. So it's just a way to, smaller accounts can get that double bump and trade it, you know, a smaller amount. Hey man, if you haven't yet, hit that QR code, go over, you can get signed up for get on our Substack at any time. You can go over and visit the newsletter, just the regular old newsletter. This is basically my trading log. I've been doing it for almost 15 years now. And we basically have, the Substack just kind of tries to bring it to life, if that makes sense. You can always, if you go to thepetersreport.com, you can always get to, where's this thing dragging ass? You can always get to Stay in Flow, subscribe to the report. You can always get to it over there. There's a link. I'm still working on updating it. I had to drive from New Orleans to Texas. Like I said, we just listed $1.9 million in houses on LoopNet. We tried selling them individually. No, we weren't getting offers for shit, man. So wholesale long term, even though it's risky, but no risk, no reward. Yeah, Salvatore, you can play those and hold. I'm a believer in holding some of the double and triples. The only way it works, though, is you got to make sure you add shares on those stage ones to offset the erosion that happens on the down moves, man. So hit the QR code, click there, man. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to try to come back on tonight when I got a little more time. I got to do I got to go on a porcelain tub, try to redo it, man, make it look a little better. I don't know if you've ever done that. It's pretty weird. Been getting some Main Street Capital. Yeah, that's a good. We might look at adding that to the second income stream. And if you're on the second income stream, looks like we got hit pretty hard yesterday, man. So that was interesting. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see.
But would MicroStrategy ever take some off the table when you sense the market is at a top and then just buy in later when there's another correction? Or do you just plan to hodl through all the 80% downturns?
Yeah, again, I just disagree with your characterization. I don't expect an 80% downturn. I don't think it's a speculative asset. I don't think you can quote unquote take money off the table. The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forevermore. Forevermore.